Hi, Dr. Staub-French.
Hi, Michelle. It's good to see you.
Good to see you. May I ask you a couple of questions?
Of course. Happy to.
How are you today?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. I was going to start off by just asking, what is your position?
My position. Okay, so I'm a professor of civil engineering, and then I'm also the Associate Dean of Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion for the Faculty of Applied Science at UBC.
Ooh, I see. What does equity, diversity, and inclusion mean to you?
Okay, well, they all mean different things. So for me, equity is about fairness, and it's about recognizing that everyone is not starting off at the same point, and that it's not really a level playing field. So if we're ever going to get to a place where we have equality, we have to have equity first. Diversity is about, representation. How do we have diverse representation? And we know that, diversity makes everything better. Diversity should be celebrated. We know that diversity makes teams smarter. It makes organizations more profitable and successful. Makes project teams make better decisions. So diversity is incredibly important, and then inclusion to me is really about belonging. Do you feel like you're valued, that you're unique, the unique things about you are appreciated? Can you kind of bring your full self to work? That's kind of inclusion for me.
Wow, that was really amazing. And since we've asked just a lot about your position, one of the personal questions is, why did you choose to go into engineering?
Yeah, so I actually chose to go into engineering without really knowing what engineering was. So I was really good at math. I liked math. I didn't really like writing and English. I didn't feel like I was very creative that way. And so my dad was the one that said, hey, why don't you be an engineer? And my brother was in the mechanical engineering program at that time. And I was like, sure, sounds good. What is it? I don't know. But when I got there, I got to, in my first year, look at different types of engineering, and thankfully civil engineering really resonated with me. So I always loved being in nature and in buildings, and with civil engineering I could see the impact of civil engineering. I could visualize it and actually experience it. And so I fell in love with civil engineering, and now my research work actually looks at how do we deliver more sustainable building projects is my focus area.
My next question is, what's your favorite part about your job?
Favorite part about my job? So I have the most awesome job right now. So I get to try to make engineering and applied sciences as equitable, diverse, and inclusive as it can be. So as part of my job, I get to try to influence our culture and the experience of students, staff, and faculty. And so this is something that's very near and dear to my heart. So it's actually, I have the opportunity to actually work in the area that is actually my life's passion in terms of having a just and inclusive environment for everyone. So that includes things like thinking about how do we bring Indigenous ways of knowing into engineering curriculum. How do we make sure people aren't biased? How do we make sure people are reflecting on their own biases? How do we, create inclusive teams where everyone can perform and everyone has equal opportunity and access? I also oversee our outreach program, Gearing Up, which last year reached 25,000 youth, almost 3,000 youth in Indigenous communities. Half of those youth were girls. A lot of them were from underserved communities. So kind of this opportunity to bring access to engineering and STEM to youth who wouldn't otherwise have that opportunity.
Sounds like just such an amazing job. How would you describe a day in your life?
A day in the life. Okay, so my days they're sort of, half my time I'm still doing research in civil engineering, and as I said, I look at the delivery of sustainable building projects. I have a particular emphasis on collaboration and the use of technology to enable project teams to work together. So half my time I'm kind of working with industry professionals and my graduate students to try to do that. And then the other half of my time is looking at equity, diversity, and inclusion, and bringing in Indigenous ways of knowing into our processes and systems. And so on that side, I'm doing a lot of meetings. I'm in a lot of meetings every day. But it's exciting because I'm working with people who have a shared interest in doing better. And so I get to work with people who are also excited about making change happen and just figuring out how do we do it and how do we do it together and how do we make sure everyone rises up together. So pretty good.
And I know a lot of our audiences is going to be around high school age. What would you tell your 18-year-old self if you knew things you knew today?
Yeah, I actually have a 15-year-old daughter, so I have a high school student in my house. I think what I would tell myself is to relax. Don't be so worried. Do what you can to be prepared, but recognize that what you plan today isn't going to necessarily be what you end up doing. And be more flexible. So for me, when I graduated university with my civil engineering degree, I said to myself, I am never going back to university. I am done. I'm sick of homework. People probably feel this way after high school too, but by university, I was just wanted a break, right? I want my evenings back. I want to have weekends. And so, so then I worked in industry, and 2 years later, I was applying to grad school. So it only took 2 years before I was like, maybe I could make a bigger difference if I were a professor. And so that's what brought me back, is that I wanted to, mentor younger people and, have an influence on students. And so yeah, so you never know. You never know.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you so much for your time today. And yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome.